Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today we may well just have the best spec'd, best value 125 step-through scooter available. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. I'm at Moonraker Motorcycles in Norwich today, and they've been selling Voge for quite a while now. In fact, they've just sold out again of the new 900 adventure bike. They've even sold their demo bike. They're that desperate for bikes. They've got more coming in, and they're arriving at the end of, I think, next month, and they just can't sell enough of them. So what's so special about this one? Well, styled very much like the Honda SH125 range, it is unbelievably well spec'd. Now, there are two different versions of the Honda SH125. You've got the SH125 mode, which is £3,100, and you've got the SH125i, which is a much better spec'd version, but that is £4,049. How much is this Voge SR16? It's £2,799 plus on the road costs. Now, for the purpose of this video, I shall be comparing this to the SH mode from Honda, simply because that's closer priced. It would be unfair to do this against the SH125i, because that is over £1,000 more. I mean, I could do, and I will talk about what comes with that anyway, but for the purpose of this, as a direct comparison, price-wise, I'll be comparing what you can get for your money, cheaper, or £100 or more cheaper for this one than the basic SH125 mode from Honda. So let's get a closer look at it. The Honda SH mode engine is a liquid-cooled, single-cylinder, 4-valve engine with 11.5 brake horsepower and 8.4 pounds-foot of torque. This Voge is a liquid-cooled, single-cylinder, 2-valve engine with 11.5 brake horsepower and 8.2 pounds-foot of torque. The Honda has a 5.5 litre fuel tank with an MPG figure on paper of around 110 miles. This Voge has a 7.8 litre fuel tank with a range of around 100 miles. The Honda has a 220mm front disc and a 130mm drum rear brake. The Voge has a 240mm front disc with a double piston caliper and a 220mm rear disc with a single piston caliper. And it's got ABS and traction control. Both bikes have right way up front forks. Where the Honda has a single-sided rear shock, the Voge has two, one either side, obviously. The Honda has an 80/16 front tyre and a 100/14 rear. The Voge has a 100/16 front tyre and a 120/14 rear, using Helios rubber, which I've never heard of, to be honest, but we'll see what it's like when we take it out on the road. The Voge comes with this rather large front screen, which, as you're sitting behind it, covers all round above your head. It's very clear to see through, obviously, and we'll see if that does any distortion when we're out on the road. But at the moment, that's a really impressive screen, and that will keep all the wind and rain off your face. That's really impressive, that. Huge thing. But it's nicely angled, so obviously it's aerodynamic. Hopefully it won't prove too much of a buffer, but again, we'll find that out when we're on the road. And as standard, the Voge also comes with these clear hand guards, which is a nice feature. I've never seen clear hand guards. I think I've seen them on a Honda as well, actually, but clear plastic see-through stuff. But yeah, that I think is a really good feature. Built-in hand guards that protect the wind and the rain from your fingers, and that works really well for me. I like that. Great little feature. However, it also comes with a front-facing 1080p dash camera. Yes, as standard, comes with a dash cam. That's quite impressive as well. Now, I was going to sign up to the app and download it so I can show some footage of that. It's a 1080p camera, so you know what they're like. However, what I don't want to do, because it's asking me for the chassis number of the vehicle, and I don't want to register that to myself because it's asking for email address and name and everything else when I clicked on it. I don't want to register it to me and then someone else have a problem later on, so I haven't attached that camera to my phone because I don't want to have problems for someone else in the future. But it's a 1080p camera. You know what they're like. They're pretty decent. And overall, it's quite a sizable machine. Now, I'm 5'10.5" with a 31.5-inch inside leg. I don't have to get my leg over it because I can step through. But this is 2 meters long, 730 millimeters wide, and because of the screen, 1.6 meters tall. But it's quite impressive. It's a nice, soft, comfortable seat. It is quite wide, and with my feet here, bearing in mind, say 31.5-inch inside leg, I can have my feet wide apart and still flat on the floor and be comfortable. Yeah, feels very comfortable indeed, actually. It feels easy enough. I don't want the key to fall off, so let me take that, he says, throwing it on the floor, but we don't need that for now. But it is really simple to lean over, really simple. I mean, it's not heavy at all. On paper, it sounds a little bit heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. And when I say heavy, I'm talking about in comparison to the likes of the Honda, but I'll tell you that in a second. However, as I say, very comfortable, nice and bouncy. Okay, I'm actually looking forward to finding out what this is like to ride. So far, just sitting here, I've got a decent visibility out of the mirrors. They're nice, longer mirrors, not huge stalks, but it sticks out far enough that I can really see well behind me. But again, when I've got my jacket on and we're out on the road, we'll see if that changes. But how does it compare size-wise to the Honda? Well, the Honda is slightly smaller, 1.9 meters long, 670 millimeters wide, and 1.2 meters tall because it doesn't have a screen as standard. What about that seat height as well? Well, the Honda is 765 millimeters seat height. This one is 800 millimeters, and the Honda is lighter at 118 kilos. This one is 140 kilos. But as I showed before, you can move it over, no problems at all. You've got a side stand and a center stand, and it's very, very simple to get on the center stand. It doesn't feel like 140 kilos, it really doesn't. The Honda Dash is analog with a little bit of LCD at the bottom for the mode version, and it's digital for the 125i version. However, this bike is keyless, so you just push the button, and when you turn it on, the dash is all digital. But the Voge also comes with a GPS direction navigation tripper thingy. Now on the dash here, you've got the fuel release down there, or the seat release. However, does it fit a full face helmet in there? Well, here we have a full face helmet, and it goes. Yes, it does. A full face helmet fits under the seat. Excellent. Well, also under here, there seems to be a battery connection for a battery charger. Inside here is your USB port. However, something that I think they've thought of quite nicely is that you've got a little connector, a little plug thing that goes in here. So you can put the wire through that hole, and there's a hole there for your wire to come out. So you haven't got to try and shove it in the side and block it in the actual lid. That's pretty handy, that. I quite like that idea. Little attention to detail thought that they've put into that. And if you're not using it, it just goes in there and plugs up the hole, waterproofing it again. So what about the top box? Can you fit a full face helmet in that? Well, let's have a look. We have our trusty full face helmet. It's a 34-litre top box. Yes, easily. And then some. 34 litres is pretty decent, actually. So as you can see, there's actually quite a lot of spec and tech that you get on this bike. It's really impressive on paper so far, and we're now about to take it on the road. But if you want this level of spec from the Honda, you're going to have to buy the SH125i for £4,049. That one then comes with the twin disc brakes and not the drum brake on the rear. It then comes with the LCD dash, not the analog dash with a little bit of LCD, or the digital dash, sorry, should I say. And it also comes with the top box. But it doesn't come with a screen, that's extra. It doesn't come with a camera or the hand guards. So yeah, I'm keen to get this out on the road. So let's do that now. Okay, so here we go with the SR16 from Voge. And let's see what it's like. Seems pretty quiet so far, as they all are with these Euro 5 Plus bikes. Oh, doesn't sound too bad though. It's got Lonsin stamped on the exhaust there, look. Right, here we go. Glorious sunny day. Look at that, clear blue skies. March is here. We finally have spring. Off the centre stand very easily. So obviously in a 20-mile-an-hour zone here. Mirrors, yeah, pretty good. About 90% visibility. That's pretty good. Seems smooth. Not getting any vibrations at this speed. Obviously we're only doing 20 miles an hour, so we'll find out when we get a bit more speed whether we get any vibrations from this screen or the mirrors or through my posterior hands, feet, on the footboards, the lot. Obviously brand new tyres, so I've got to be careful. The bike has only done 6 miles. Therefore, when I take it down the dual carriageway, I can only take it up to the top speed briefly, because I have to be fair to it. There, up to 30 miles an hour, no problem. Oh, I'll tell you what, this screen is doing a fantastic job. I'm not feeling any. That truck just went past, didn't feel a thing. No wind whatsoever. That's good. Didn't feel anything from there. Lumps and bumps on the road. Suspension is it's quite firm, I would say. It's not spongy, but it's not uncomfortable. I'm not being jolted. It's basically handling the bumps really well. It's very smooth. Throttle is easy to use. As I say, I've got all these potholes and bumps and manhole covers and whatnot, and it's just taking them really easily. It's not distorting my voice as I'm talking. It's very comfortable. It's absorbing, that's the best word, absorbing all the lumps and bumps really well. Now, as you know, I'm not a scooter person. I don't own a scooter myself in my array of 10 bikes, but I certainly see their place. Okay, fair enough, just going to pull out here. Brilliant. I certainly see their place, and I appreciate them, and so many more are becoming available now. Lots and lots of people are using scooters now because it's an easier form of transport. It's a cheaper form of transport. It's so simple to ride, and they're becoming much easier to buy, use, and they're not uncool anymore. Yeah, picks up, no problems at all. Right, we're about to go into the 40, and in a non-race style, have a drag race with a truck. Sitting on idle, ticks over well enough. Not getting any vibrations really, a tiny little bit of vibe of the screen bouncing, but it's nothing major. I don't feel it through my hands or my bum, so it's not that bad. And as we pull away, let's see how it does. Bearing in mind I've still only done 7 miles. I'll be riding my visor open. I hope it hasn't been interfering with the wind too much. Close that. Here we go. That's absolutely fine. So going up to 40 now. Easy enough. We're now about to come to the 60, so we'll see whether it pulls up to 60 easy enough. Here we go. So bearing in mind the bike is still running in, I don't want to be too heavy with it. It's doing 53. Where are you going, mate? If you're going to reverse out, don't do it yet. So 55. I am going to take it easy. We'll see what we get on the dual carriageway. Bearing in mind, as I say, the bike is running in, so once it is running, it will free up and it will ride easier. Taking the corners very simply. There's a lot of wind coming across this dual carriageway now, and I'm not really feeling it. This screen is superb. I'm going to put a few miles on it first, so we'll do the twisty country stuff first. And then we'll come back down the dual carriageway as the last thing to see if it'll hit that top speed and what that top speed is. Safety camera team are out, jolly good. Really well protected behind this screen. The only wind I've got is a tiny little bit on my legs where it's coming from there, and that's it. I'm not getting any wind anywhere else. So for a bike that's only done 9 miles, sitting cruising at 60 miles an hour is absolutely fine. Or 59 miles an hour, absolutely fine. So I will take it down the dual carriageway just to see what it's like with other traffic. I don't think it's going to have a problem. Brakes are really, really good. This ABS is superb. Very good brakes. And again, they haven't even bedded in yet. So simple. Really easy to ride. Comfortable, great on my posterior, great on my hands. I'm not feeling any wind on my hands, no wind on my face or my body. And bear in mind, as I say, for the first bit I had my visor completely open and I wasn't getting any wind coming on my face at all, so hopefully that should protect the camera for any wind noise. This is really doing well. What a great little scooter. Okay, so coming up to the dual carriageway now. $55, $59, $60. So bearing in mind I've still only done 14 miles. So what do we get going down the other side? 62, 63, 64. So once this is run in, I should imagine this will hit 70 miles an hour. 65 on the flat, 65
That seems to be absolutely fine, to be honest. 66, did that? Yes, 66. Now bear in mind the bike's only done 14 miles. 66 is pretty good. Once this is run in, I think that will hit 70. And it seems to hold it really well. I was not being buffeted about, I was not being thrown around in any way whatsoever. Brakes are really good. And as they're still bedding in, the bike performs superbly, considering it hasn't even been out on the road very long. And that was without my visor down. Let's see if did we get any wind noise. That would be a good test actually. Am I going to get past this? I'm going uphill now. This is going to be a big test. I don't think I'm going to make it. No, I'm not. Fair enough. I'll sit in his draft. Now, sitting in his draft, I'm still not being buffeted about. I was being a bit ambitious, I think. I've got a crosswind here across these, and I'm sitting in his draft, and I'm sitting at 57 uphill. And bearing in mind I am 100 kilos, that's 16 stone. Creeping up almost 60. That's not bad at all actually for a newly non-run-in bike. It's a 125 scooter. Now it's flattening out, I'm creeping up to 60. That's pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Lovely sunny day. Well, I think that is all I've got time for. I think basically what we've seen is a bike that will happily keep up with traffic. I think once this is running it'll do 70 miles an hour. At the moment obviously we're looking at sort of 60 as a comfortable speed. But again, we're still only done less than 20 miles. So for the price, 2,799 plus on the road. So under 3 grand on the road. I don't think you can get much better with all this spec and tech on it. I think it's absolutely superb. So that's all I've got for this episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and I'll be back very soon with something else. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye bye.